Guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rise. We're back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have that mid-engine car people will not stop talking about. This is it. This is a 2022 Chevrolet C8 Corvette. But before we get into this mid-engine American sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. The Chevrolet Corvette. It's been around since 1953, if you could believe that. Obviously, we're on our 8th generation, hence the term C8. But really the big game changer, as you are already aware of, is that mid-engine setup. Now, of course, the C8 Corvette coming hot off the heels of all the other generations, bringing a lot of performance, but one thing that the other generations have always brought is that practicality, that everyday use, which when you think of a sports car, usually that's something that's not even possible because it's all about performance and not so much where you're going to store certain things. But with this Corvette, the designers not only had a challenge of making it look like a Corvette, but also trying to bring that practicality. So what I want to find out with this review, is the 2022 C8 Corvette the most practical sports car? And is it the best one to buy? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our 2022 and find out. Right off the bat, you're going to notice something new, this color. It's new for 2022. It's called Red Mist, and it looks stunning in the Florida sun. Lots of metallic flake. You'll see up front, you're gonna get full LED technology. LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and turn signals in a very, very sexy, aggressive headlight housing. One type of material you'll see a lot, not only on the Corvette, but other Chevrolet products, is gonna be called carbon flash metallic. To some, it may just look like gloss black. It's not. There's actually metallic flake to these black areas, and it gives it a nice kind of upscale look rather than just basic piano black. Now, the great news is all the vents are fully functional, and here's a little fun Jeopardy tip for you. This piece of aero right here is actually not designed by the engineers for aerodynamic efficiency. It's actually there because the DOT, Department of Transportation, requires it for pedestrian safety. I guess if you're laying down in the street with your leg kind of angled up, that would stop your feet from getting sucked into that massive vent. But the good news is, not only does it look good, but this large area is gonna flow lots of air for those heat exchangers. Now, as we come across that front end, even though there's no engine up front, it still looks, at least from the front, like a Corvette. I actually think that the front is my favorite part of the C8. You can see more of that carbon flash metallic. You do have functional vents on the insides as well. We have the performance data recorder. And of course, you got the cross flags because that's been on a Corvette since 1953. The only year that they did not have an actual true production Corvette was 1983. Something to think about the next time you're on Jeopardy. Now, one thing you'll see that's missing is a splitter. This car has the Z51 performance package, but it does not have the splitter. That is something that Dream Giveaway Garage wanted to specifically order. There's no rear wing and there's no front splitter to kind of clean up the style. Another thing that this car has is the axle lift system. So you press that button, you're in a parking lot and there's a big mammoth speed bumps. This will actually lift up the front end and then you can bring it back down. Let's say your place of business has those gigantor speed bumps. You could actually store that in the navigation so it automatically lifts and you don't even have to hit a button. You could actually do that for 1,000 separate locations, and guess what? There's only one other car that has it currently, and it actually got it after the Corvette. That's the 992, the Porsche 992 911. Just something to think about. Now, when you get up onto that low slung hood, no engine, we actually have something underneath. I'll show you in a little bit. Pertains to this topic of this review. Love the Stealth Fighter jet lines. And as we come around the bend, you're gonna notice something unique. This has BBS wheels. Iconic brand of a wheel manufacturer, has been around, like it says here, since 1970. I love the flat gold finish to it. Really matches well with the Red Mist. You'll see our supersized calipers, 6-piston calipers, featured in a nice metallic red as well, with the Z51 badge, with your Corvette badge. And we have our BBS wheels, which are forged, so that means they're lighter and stronger, wrapped by these Continental Contis, those extreme contact tires, gonna give us lots of grip, lots of stick. This is a 19-inch wheel up front, 245 on the width, 35 series sidewall, and the color, I'm telling you, looks fantastic. You don't see a lot of Vettes with this color wheel. Now going down the side, you'll see we got our color match mirror caps, LED turn signals, and then everything else has a nice flow. All C8 Corvettes are Targas. The only other option is the hardtop convertible, but we get to see what it looks like without the roof. Really gives it that nice, almost like Magnum PI style setup, although Magnum PI was driving a 308 Ferrari, not a C8 Corvette. You are gonna have your functional vents on the side with more of that carbon flash metallic. Body lines are so just slick and clean, and I'm liking the way there's no extra appendages, no spoilers, no wings, really cleans it up. Now at the tail end of the business, we do also have nice large calipers. These are 20-inch wheels. So 20-inch wheels, those BBS out back, really gonna give you that nice grip that you want. And these are 305, so we have more rubber to meet the road to get the traction. As we come around the back, I love the way the body lines of that rear glass, because you can see the engine underneath. We have our venting on both sides. The only zonk about this venting is that if it rains, gobs of water just pours into the engine compartment. When you look up in your rearview mirror, it looks almost like a waterfall in the engine compartment. I wish they could have done something about channeling the water so it didn't just dump on everything. But out back, like I said, usually the Z51 has that like baby stroller handle. There's no baby stroller handle. It's just smooth all the way across with your Stingray. Remember, Stingray, what's the first year the Corvette came up with Stingray? Yes, you in the back. Put the Twinkie down, I can't hear you. Yes, you're correct. 1963 was the first year of the Stingray. Last year was 76, and then it came back again for the C7 in 2014. These are all little facts that when you win Jeopardy, you better give me some of your winnings because I helped you. Back of the Corvette, not my favorite. I don't really love the way it looks like a squished Camaro that's been kind of pulled on both sides, but I do love the way it's got your functional venting, LED lighting. We got our quad tip exhaust. Remember, it's that GM Performance exhaust. Make it louder, make it quieter. And we have an electronic limited slip diff because we got that Z51 package and of course the special suspension. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the engine hatch and talk numbers in our Stinger. All right guys, we got the engine hatch open. Now what makes the Corvette so unique, the C8, is that mid-engine setup. Now one thing you'll notice are these wires going into the tops of the shock absorbers. That's for that magnetic ride suspension. And then of course, going towards the center, on display for all to see in its glory is that LT2 V8. It's a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8, 495 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed DCT, a Tremec DCT transmission. The car weighs 3,647 pounds, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, quarter mile in 11.2 at 122 miles per hour. And then guess what? MPGs, even though you may not care about it, you get 19 combined, 16 in the city, 26 on the highway, and a top speed of over 190 miles an hour. But what makes this so special is not just the mid-engine setup and all that horsepower, it's having 13 cubic feet of space in the rear. This is large enough for a set of golf clubs, let alone all of the groceries, your kids' stuff when you pick them up from school. Maybe you gotta bring some stuff into work. You get that usability, but it's not just about the usability, it's about the changes that they've made to the interior. We're gonna check that out, and then I have a little bit of a surprise for practicality before we go on throttle. But let's get into the interior and see how the C8 Corvette stacks up. All right, guys, we're inside this red mist C8 Corvette, new color for 2022. This one has all the options. So it's 3LT Z51 equipped without the extra splitter or the rear wing. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much does this thing cost MSRP? It's pretty much MSRP is right around $91,000. Let's see how it goes when looking at the amenities and what you're getting for the money. To the door panels. Absolutely love the style. The best interior by far in any Corvette. Contrast red stitching, Bose sound system with the aluminum speaker grille cover, and then you're gonna have some nice silver treatment, no gloss black. Love the stitching everywhere. And then you got a good sized door pocket. I would actually say you could fit a 6-inch Subway cold cut trio in there with extra pickles and mustard. Now going from the door panel to the dash, there's that excellent stitching, even around where the airbag is. You got your AC vents. I'm still zonking these plastic clips. Very, very cheap, and I feel like they could break right off. And then of course you got that big divider with all your AC controls, heated seats, ventilated seats, and an 8-inch infotainment system. I want to showcase something known as Z mode because of Zor Duntub, the true father of the Corvette. You hit the Z on the steering wheel, and now you can go into the adjustments and set up everything exactly the way that you want it. So every time that you hit Z mode, it will go right towards this. So let's say you want your engine sound a little on sport side and your steering to be on sport, but everything else full tilt, then you're good to go. For me, it's all about everything. Everything or nothing. And then you hit the button again, there's tour mode, changes everything back. You got your push-pull transmission selection for that 8-speed DCT. You got a rotary knob underneath this sexy leather palm rest. That's for the different modes. 2 cup holders with your Corvette key fob. I'll peel this sticker off to show you the cross flags. There it is. With remote start, very important when you're trying to impress your friends at the car show. Open this up. We got felt lining. Obviously it's just for me, but you could put 3 Twinkies in there, and you got a USB-A, a USB-C. So that's nice. The best part though are these seats. These are the full competition seats with the carbon fiber, the red stitching, red bolstering. Love the color. Full electric assist for the passenger, the driver. As you can see, we got the Targa roof off. It's easy to put on and take off, and we have our digital rear view mirror. From a practicality standpoint, this makes it very useful to be a daily driver. Wireless charging is right here, and you even got the Stingray name to let you know that you did it right. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you the D-shaped steering wheel in this C8 Corvette. All right, guys, here we are, business time behind the wheel. You get a nice aluminum sill plate with the Stingray logo there, looking great. Seat controls, easy to get to, and I'm telling you, don't be afraid of the bolstering in this thing. It feels good, it isn't tight, but it'll hold you in place. Here's the D, that D-shaped steering wheel. It is a heated steering wheel. It's got the red leather up top, the red stitching all the way around, even the stitching on the horn button. Massive surfboard style. These are like catamaran pontoon boats that have that ability to go up and down that Tremec 8-speed. There's the Z button I was telling you about. You hit that, everything goes full race mode, and look at that dash. Nice digital setup, all clear display. Weight your tack in the center, look at that. Nice, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what? I promised you a surprise. We got one last thing, and then we are going on throttle in our C8 Corvette. All right, guys, we showed you that space with the engine compartment. Look at what you get. That's not the only space. You get space up front. Enough room for 2 carry-on bags. Think about going to the grocery store. You could easily get a whole Thanksgiving Day dinner supply list put into that, just the front compartment, let alone the back compartment. But that is gonna, obviously, you compare this to a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a McLaren, they don't have space like this at the front and the back. But you know what? What makes this a sports car is not just it being practical, it's also about how it drives. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our C8 Corvette. All right, guys, we're in this 2022 C8 Corvette. Got the top off, but I rolled up the side glass so that you could hear me just a little bit better. Anytime I get into one of these C8 Corvettes, it's a blast, but it's nice to run one without the top. There is a bit of buffeting with the side glass up and the top off, just something to be aware of, but we're gonna slow down here and we're gonna go on throttle. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, yeah! Woo! On the brakes. Obviously, I'm gonna zonk how much buffeting there is. It's a little too much. It's really shaking at the camera, the whole 9 yards. So, interesting, my first time in a coupe without the target top on. So something to think about there, but still a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and put the side glass down and see how it goes. Probably get a little bit more wind noise, but I'm just curious about the buffeting. All right, guys, you know, one thing talking about practicality with this car, the seats are comfortable. Even though there's a large divider, it still feels really good in here. And your passenger, they don't need to know what's going on the business end. You are in control of the business. I'm in control of these paddles, and we're gonna go on throttle. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, yeah! Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Downshifts. Really, really nice on how the car just produces that power, that low down torque with the side glass. With the side glass down, you're not getting the buffeting. So that's the good news. No buffeting, but it's a lot of wind noise. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. On throttle. Nice downshifts. Great. So no doubt that the C8 Corvette is a performer, and definitely no doubt that it is the most practical sports car out of them all. I can understand why so many people want one of these. That's for sure, and I'm definitely excited for the Z06 Corvette that is coming very, very soon. But we got to get back to Dream Giveaway Garage and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. It's been another crazy day here at Dream Giveaway Garage. Definitely want to thank Ryan, Lori, Chris, the whole team, getting us access to their 2022 Red Mist C8 Corvette with the Z51 package. Let me know what you think. Is this the most practical sports car and the best sports car that you should be dying to buy with your hard-earned money? And remember, if you want to win this one, use the Raiti's Rise promo code. If you spend $25 or more, you will get double the chances of winning. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click that link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rise merch. Got to give it up to the queen behind the lens, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.